Hey guys, the Langbanger here. So yes, I am still alive. So I definitely over the years I've been making less and less videos. Just not a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh going on around in my area. So that's kind of why you don't hear from me so much anymore. I've also been in Flesh and Blood, just for anyone that didn't know that, at least for the last year now, year plus. But I will still make some videos here and there for Yu-Gi-Oh! I still buy some cards for, older decks that I used to like. And, as they get upgrades, why not, right? But doesn't mean I'm done playing Yu-Gi-Oh! If there are events, I will certainly go to them if they're close. But other than that, you'll just casually see me post things. I'm also on Duel Links, Master Duel, and all of that. But I do have a profile for you. So I wanted to go over Tellarknights. So certainly one of my favorite decks, and I believe the deck originated in Duelist Alliance. And with that, I believe we kind of had like a trinity. I think there was Shaddoll, there was Tellarknights, I think there was Burning Abyss. Um, that might have been the three. Um, but this was always just a really cool deck. It's warriors. I I will always love warrior decks for the most part. But the last, I don't know, couple months we did get some new Tellarknights, so that's why I'm showing you this profile. So, mind you, I really have not been following Yu-Gi-Oh, playing it, so, my card choices are definitely going to be off, but I would just show you, how I would start with this deck if I wanted to, like, test it and maybe take it to an event. So, let's just get right into it, shall we? So, starting off, we do have three of the Tellarknight Lyran. So this is a chain blocker, but then also it's adding a Tellarknight spell. So what's cool about this is the spell is a summon from hand or graveyard, I believe, but it's a continuous. So you can trigger loop. So that's pretty cool. So the way that I used to run this deck was 3 Call of the Haunted, 3, I think it was Oasis of Dragon Soul, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think there was some other card that would resurrect, and then you could just keep on Trevor looping. Can't remember if Oasis upped it a level. Because if it did, it would pretty much throw off the synergy of this. I forget. So, very out of touch here a little bit. So you do have the 3 Lyran. I also have 2 of the Elteron. So for that, I will just pause and let you guys read that. But essentially, you can target cards equal to the light or dark exceed monsters you can control and destroy them. And then you can summon this from the graveyard. So that's pretty cool. So the way Tellarknight worked, you'd want to at least get 2 monsters, and then you could rank up right into Trevor. Trevor is easily, I think, one of the best cards in the game. I think it'll forever be just the fact that you can bounce everything. Normally that would be rough, bouncing potentially, your opponent's monsters from the reuse it, but if they are extra deck monsters, then think of that as a plus. So I'm pretty much just going for the Trevor loop and trying to reuse cards, and I have some tech cards too. They did release over the last couple years. Might even be more than that, but I've just always liked them because they were warriors, so you wouldn't typically see them, so I guess stay tuned for that. But I do still have 1 Vega. I don't know how badly that's needed, but to be able to double summon, sure, why not? I do have 3 Ukulele, or however you would say that. So that's still, I would say, a staple. You have the 3 Altair, and then you have 3 Deneb. Yeah, it was Duelist Alliance. So, yeah, so that is, I don't want to say the full monster lineup. I am using 3 Suravis too. So, I don't want to say that this deck's fragile, but if you summon a monster and it gets stopped, you're going to cry. So, outside of like Called by the Grave This is one of the few ways that you can dodge in effect. So that's why I'm using that in there. So that was the monsters. Onto the spells. You have Duster. You have Call By. You have 3 Constellar Tellarknights. So this is sort of a newer card. I don't know if this was the last set that came out or 2 sets back, but when this card's activated, you can special summon a Tellarknight or Constellar from your hand or graveyard. So that's a cool thing about that. I don't have Constellar myself, but I do use Tellar. So that's cool that they're, you know, kind of included or, you know, work for the same idea or strategy there. So, yep. And then also it lets you rank up as well. So there you go. So you can kind of understand, like, play this. You can summon from the grave or hand if you need to, but then you could just bounce this and then just reuse, and that's how you're getting advantage. So then you have Reborn and then Reinforcement of the Army. Yeah, also, I'm getting to the point, like, in this game to where I don't want to say I put the best cards in every deck. Like, if I have a deck built with certain cards, like, I'm not going to pull those cards if I only have a certain number of copies. So I just end up using what I have extra. I just want to have as many decks built as possible. They may not always be built the best that they can. But, so that's kind of where I'm working there. Onto the trap. So I am a little more trap heavy than a lot of Tellar decks. I've seen a lot of Tellarknight decks, and it was basically just all monsters and spells. Not to say that's bad, but I'm just going off the old school thinking of Trigger Loop, and then kind of going with a little bit of control too. So I am using 3 Alpha still, really old card. Fiendish Chain. So that is a card that you can reuse. So you did notice, I'm sure, that I'm not using any hand traps. Could certainly use some, but this in itself, it's not a hand trap, but it's a negator, and then you could reuse it, and then once you get the looping. So it's kind of my thought process there. You have 3 Call of the Haunted, of course. So here is a card that you wouldn't normally see. If you guys want to cut this, that's fine. But Expendable Die. So tribute 1 warrior monster, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, draw 1 card. So it's a way to out a problem card. It's drawing cards. It's kind of the same thing with the counter trap, Tellarnova Alpha, or whatever it's called, you know, negate and draw, right? So it's like you're stopping your opponent from doing a big play, and then you're getting some advantage back, and then just continue to go on. And then the last card, I have 3 Evenly Matched. So that was the main deck. You know, feel free to change what you will out of there. But for the extra deck, again, maybe this could be built a little better. I just looked at my extras, like cards that aren't in decks currently, and this is just what I came up with. So you do have 3 Trigger. You do have, this is a new guy, Tellarknight, Constellar, Catechus. So if this card is Exceed Summon, you can target 1 Tellarknight or 1 Constellar card in your grave, add them to your hand, and or, I should say. So I believe I would get the spell and a monster if you want, so that's pretty cool. And then you can target 1 Tellarknight or 1 Constellar monster in your hand or deck, and detach 1 material from this card. This effect becomes that banished monster's effect when it is normal summon. You can only use the effect, yada yada, once per turn. So pretty cool card. And again, you could mess around with the ratios. Maybe you don't need 3 Trigger. That would give you a spot. Maybe you don't even need 2 of this guy. But we'll just keep on going down the line here. I am using 1 Dark Tellarknight Batalamus. So that's an older card, but, you know, nothing wrong with that. I believe Ptolemaeus did come back. So if I'm showing this in error, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I have that in there. So really, it's like this is where I could probably use the most help, like which exceeds are the best to use, and it's like, is Ptolemaeus still needed, and what do you want to go up into? Because Dark Tellarknight, you know, he kind of helped you in that regard too. So yeah, I am using a diamond, and then I'm using a Deltros. That is the Tellarknights. Then I am using a Excalibur, just 4,000 attack, get over some. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. So that, I don't want to say this is a personal favorite, but this is one of those cards like Duel Links. Hell of a card. In TCG, I don't know if anyone has ever used this, or definitely haven't used it to the same level. So I have that in there, just the overall thought, like removal and get some plays in. Tornado Dragon, why not? Just spell and trap removal. Then I do have a couple links. I have Hip Hoshingen, kind of makes sense there. Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare Phoenix. So I could have added Nightmare Cerberus. Maybe you may want to link 4, but we're mostly Exceed, right? So that's why I kind of kept it minimal on the links, but also all these links kind of do something, right? So Unicorn bouncing, the Phoenix destroying, the Hip giving you the boost, and then you get the card back, I believe. Yeah. So that's just good synergy there, kind of toolboxy. So let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me know if you guys are using it, what you're using. Did I miss something to add? Yeah, that's about all that I have. I don't have like Pot of Prosperity, so I'd probably have those in here. I don't know if Desires would go in here. I got plenty of those, but I don't know. Yeah, so just let me know what you guys think, and have a good day. Peace.